It's doing a countdown. It's at 3:15 now.
Oh,
It's doing a
So-
countdown?
it says meeting is now streaming live on YouTube.
Yeah, it does say that. Okay, done. Okay, for real this time.
All right. Well, 3 minutes of warm up.
Yo, it's Monday night. I've got my coffee and we are back on the live stream. It says it right here. Sorry for the technical difficulties. My computer is going wild. But you know what? We're here. We got plenty of performers. If this is your first time checking one of these out, this is like any other open mic, except it is online. It's virtual. It is held through Zoom and streamed live here on our YouTube channel. And like any other open mic, if you want to perform, all you have to do is sign up. Usually you can find the sign up at any of our social media, the Barbed Wire Open Mic Series. If you just type it in, it is there. I feel like we accidentally started a new live video. Yeah, second one is good. Okay, cool. Like I said, we've been doing this since April of 2020. I had a little whole false start and everything. We started a new video, but we are here. So we encourage you guys, if you are here for the first time, we do have a live chat. It is a great way to interact with not only myself, but all of the performers. Many of us are there checking on it as well. But regardless, let us know you're here. Say hello. Let us know where you're listening in from. I'll give you shout outs throughout the show. But we do have a pretty nice list. And thanks to Zoom and thanks to the internet, we're going to be able to travel all around the country, all around the world in a snap, just like that. So it's amazing. In fact, we're going to go ahead and kick things off as we often do. It's in many ways, can you really have an open mic without a mic? Well, let's find out. Next up, we have our own mic. It's Michael Sindler out of Denver. That was cheesy. Yo, Mike, how you doing? Happy Monday.
Yeah, that was reasonably cheesy, but that's okay. It was very good. You're always great. I'm going to start the way I always start, by enticing people to go check out lighthouseriders.org, which is a really wonderful organization that offers classes and workshops and events and all kinds of things for every kind of writer, no matter what you're interested in doing or learning. So how much can it hurt to go check it out? Today, I'm going to read some because we have started National Poetry Month, and many of us are, taking that challenge and trying to write a poem a day, every day for April. So far, I've kept up with it, but, it hasn't gone very far yet. But I'm going to read the two that I've done for the first 2 days. And then after this is over, I'll write one for today. So this first one is called Clutter. Dawning realizations. Clutter best placed where other hoarders will see treasure, tracking back my memories to bury in their closets. And this next one follows that theme a little bit. It's called Clean Start. It's the season to make a clean start. Gathering basic chemicals, building blocks of sanitation, alcohol, ammonia, baking soda, salt, soap, vinegar, and plenty of lemon juice. Mustering paper, rags, sponges, towels, brushes, brooms, mops, scrubbing pads, humming vacuum cleaner, and all the rest. Spray bottles, pails, buckets, bins, and bags. Now, all that's needed is determination, energy, attention, and concentration. So, when it comes to the potential for a successful spring cleaning, I'm not that thrilled about the odds. And I'm going to do another one, another short one. And this is one I do every year. Oh, I seem to have lost it. Give me a second here on this one. Sorry, folks. I apologize profusely. Um, Jeez, what the hell? Okay, I am actually sadly not. Okay, here we go. This is one I have been doing every year since I first wrote it in 2017, and I wrote it on the 14th of that year, but this year it came early. So this is Spring Comes to Colfax. First streetwalker of the season, Colfax warms to welcome lost souls. Lust does not require reason. First streetwalker of the season only shows what Johns find pleasing. Still young, but quickly growing old. First streetwalker of the season, Colfax warms to welcome lost souls. And that's it for my stuff, but you're not rid of me yet, because I am going to go ahead and do a couple hat poems. And this week is National Jazz Appreciation Week, so I thought I'd do some jazz stuff. This first one's by Bob Kaufman, who was one of the lesser known members of the Beat group and was very, very much into the jazz side of it. And this is called Oh Jazzo War Memoir. Jazz, Don't Listen to It at Your Own Risk, by Bob Kaufman. In the beginning, in the wet, warm, dark place, straining to break out, clawing at strange cables, hearing her screams, laughing. Later we forgave ourselves. We didn't know. Some secret jazz shouted, "Wait, don't go!" Impatient, we came running, innocent, laughing blobs of blood and faith, to this mother-father world where laughter seems out of place. So we learned to cry, please, they pronounce human. The secret jazz blew a sigh. Some familiar sound shouted, "Wait, some are evil, some will hate. Just jazz blowing its top again." So we rushed and laughed and we pushed and grabbed while jazz blew in the night. Suddenly, they were too busy to hear a simple sound. They were busy shoving mud in men's mouths, who were busy dying on the living ground, busy earning medals for killing children on deserted street corners, occupying their fathers, raping their mothers. Busy humans, we. Busy burning Japanese in atomic color cinemascope with stereophonic screams. What 1% in red-blooded savage would waste precious time listening to jazz with so many important things going on? But even the fittest murderers must rest, so they sat down in our blood-soaked garments and listened to jazz, lost, steeped in our death dreams. They were shocked at the sound of life, long gone from our own. Well, they were indignant at the whistling, thinking, singing, beating, swinging. They wept for it, hugged, kissed it, loved it, joined it. We drank it, smoked it, ate with it, slept with it. They made our girls wear it for lovemaking instead of silly lace gowns. Now, in these terrible moments where the dusk, dark memories come, the secret moments to which we admit no one, when guiltily we crawl back in time, reaching away from ourselves, they hear a familiar sound. Jazz, scratching, digging, bluing, swinging jazz, and listen and feel and die. And I am going to do one more by my favorite poet. It's called The Weary Blues by Langston Hughes. Droning a drowsy syncopated tune, rocking back and forth to a mellow croon, I heard a Negro play down on Lenox Avenue the other night. By the pale, dull pallor of an old gas light, he did a lazy sway. He did a lazy sway, to the tune of those weary blues. With his ebony hands on each ivory key, he made that poor piano moan with melody. Oh, blues. Swaying to and fro on his rickety stool, he played that sad, raggedy tune like a musical fool. Sweet blues, coming from a black man's soul. Oh, blues, in a deep song voice with a melancholy tone. I heard that Negro sing, that old piano moan. Ain't got nobody in this world, ain't got nobody but myself. Yeah, I'd wind to quit by frowning and put my troubles on the shelf. Thump, thump, thump went his foot on the floor. He played a few chords and sang some more. I got the weary blues, I can't be satisfied. Got the weary blues and can't be satisfied. I ain't happy no more, and I wish that I had died. And far into the night, he crooned that tune. The stars went out, and so did the moon. The singer stopped playing and went to bed, while the weary blues echoed through his head. He slept like a rock, or a man that's dead. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Mike. That was lovely, as always. An excellently curated section of poems, both original and covers. And a couple of things. Man, I failed as host. It's April. It's Poetry Month, first of all. So, like, shout out to all the poets out there. People who've been doing this for a while or just starting out. The poets in you, you know, we encourage you guys to write and edit and bring your stuff out to our open mics, whether it be online or in person. April, in addition to Poetry Month, is also Jazz Month. So that's pretty cool. For me, that means I'm like doubly booked. If you're in the El Paso area, I'm going to be performing some poetry with a live jazz band this Thursday in downtown El Paso at International Bar with some of my buddies. We'll also be joined by poets Khan Rasfire, and the poet You. That's right. She's You. And she's dope. So if you're in the area, come check us out. There's a UTEP MFA program is also doing something with the live jazz band that I've been asked to help with. So that's going to be later on in the month. And I work with a group called the Jazz Exchange, El Paso Jazz Exchange. Check them out. We have secret shows all around the city. We'll be starting up in the summer, but this month, the Jazz Exchange officially became a nonprofit. So we're going to celebrate and have a jazz concert at the end of the month. You can find out more by following the Jazz Exchange. I'm the official host and MC of the Jazz Exchange as well. So those are really fun shows. Anyway, yeah, every time I tell my students I love jazz, they kind of like give me weird looks, you know. They're thinking about like Kenny G jazz. I'm thinking of like Charlie Parker and John Coltrane, Ella Fitzgerald. Like, I'm like, I gotta, you know, class is in session. Anyway, that's just me coming through, sharing a little bit of my passions. Yeah, so sorry for the fault, like the weird start. We had some tech issues, but we are back on track. We are going to continue our tour of poets from all around tonight. And our next performer is working on something huge. Their play is coming out. They're finishing up some production stuff. So tickets on sale for Words of the Prophets are going to be available. You can watch it in person in Manhattan. So if you're just casually in Manhattan, go make sure to check it out. But it will be live streamed as well. If you're interested in checking out, I will let them talk about it if they'd like more before or after the performance. But let's go ahead and just jump into our next performer. Let's welcome to the show Vale Larkin. Welcome back, Vale. Happy Monday.
Hi, happy Monday.
Hey.
Okay. Yes, the play is moving along and I am really busy. Broadway World featured us on their off-Broadway front page on their website. So we are currently the headline article on that page. So check us out. I'm going to read about a couple things today. I'm disabled and I have a degenerative condition, so I'm kind of dealing with a lot of degeneration this past year. And that's been an emotional thing. So let's see. Liminal abilities. Each morning, my hands have come off my wrists, which are stiff, stuck to my rigid limbs, hanging like cruel gallows justice from my shoulders. I wake. I shake them up. They are limp as overboiled anything, and the needles are all I can feel. Every part of me holds its breath and waits. Walking is out of the question. Broken feet to torn tendons to hips that weren't even built right to begin with. Wheels are fun on smooth floors. I persist. There was the year my voice vanished, gone to whistles and rasps and broken pieces. The voice bone's connected to the spine bone. It returned in shy shards. I hear them say, for now, that this pressure in my ears is once again my body pulling itself through the grinder. It will push and push. Do I need to hear? Look what I have learned to live without. I can listen to music in my head and feel drums in my chest below any sound. Thank God. Oh, what do I tell myself when my hands fall silent too? What will I do when I can no longer do anything? Who will I be without the act to the will, the flame to the strike? Without creation from belief, who will I be beyond my body? I am not ready to be a spirit so soon, whether haunting my own rigid flesh or free. I am not ready yet. And now for something almost completely different. Something is happening in our country right now, and if you listen to some people in our country, it is a horrible, horrible travesty. And they are so shocked and appalled that the rest of us are celebrating so gleefully. So this is a reminder of a time before this. One day in November, we all woke up. The gnawing of despair at our hearts. The glare of screens barely flickering, all numbers shifting on static frames and stark, sunken faces. Tonight they rise like a tide of nightmares. All our old bullies, old tormentors, all our rigid families and vicious priests. Tonight they rise up and seize hold of our throats, fingers digging into skin and tendons, our breath caught in a vice, eyes shrieking. Tonight, all our old terrors are tearing our future to shreds. Black, brown, every spectrum shade, all the colors everywhere, tattered scraps in the snow. They celebrated in the streets like the news of our deaths was the best they had heard. All of them, those finger pointers, those stone throwers, those skinless accusers. They celebrated in the streets like a myth of jihad that never once happened the way all our wars happened. As the beast turned back to the masses, to the kin of its masters, we all saw it. The way the whites of its eyes were the white of our skin, the way its teeth glowed ivory, the terrible ice of its breath on our face, all our pallor stalking us, all of us, the dark, the frail, the meek, the uncovered. Our skins become death as they always were. We annihilate ourselves and all others we meet, greet as strangers, aliens, and dispose of. Here is our reflection. This horror, our silence. This violence, our stillness. This nightmare, our wretched disaffection. One day we all woke up, dawn revealing a wasteland of crumbled delusions and decaying wishes. One day, one poisoned day, one eye-opening, dream-snatching day, we all woke up. Now let me, now the next two are kind of flip side, bring things to a more affirming sort of way. The first one is a little sad. It is about a friend of mine who is dealing with, as it turns out, some similar health concerns. And we are kind of on this journey together and are spending a lot of time talking about it. Way Station Song for Norm Maddox. His voice is an old voice, slow and dryly wise. He says he is meditating again and finding some peace in the places between. We talk about dying with wide eyes, nothing shuttered, no walls. We talk about life with the voices of old women comparing their wedding photos. We talk about art like a life raft, carrying us over the shoals of our bodies and their erratic betrayals. He remembers his wife's death, how she stepped quite abruptly from struggle to acceptance, and how she was gone before anyone else had the time to accept. He understands her better now. I'm still not certain how this happened. This friendship where we say honest and terrible things to each other, because hearing them echoed in all their unwieldiness lessens the weight of their boots on our chests. Journeys make family of companions, and companions of those once merely admired. I pray, every time we sign off, for our strength, for a will to be present, even when presence is fading and life is too sharp. I pray for him to find that center he is seeking. I pray I will. In the night, the voice of another traveler, waiting for dawn and journeying on. We sing a hymn together for the warm embrace of darkness to hold on to us just a little longer. And this last one is a metaphor. I'm just going to give it away. Is a metaphor for change where you can't predict the outcome. And when we have those moments in our lives where change is coming and we can do nothing to control or predict the outcome, we always have a choice. And we always have to decide if this is a change we need to fight or if this is a change we need to accept. And this is about the kind of changes you need to accept. 2 steps forward into the forest. Light through tessellated tangles of brown skin and green blood, vitality and endurance, making of the air a shimmering net, capturing dust motes, small insects, and the footsteps of venturers. Caught in chiaroscuro, glen to glade, sun to shade, caught like milkweed in the web of transition from bright life to vespertine imagination. Magical miasmas rise from spongy moss and leaf litter like rich carpet underneath the vaulted ceiling of the tabernacle woods. The atmosphere is not interrupted by bird songs. Rather, they enrich the silence, slipping sideways to preserve its pristine nature and only ringing briefly underneath the hum of hush. Something chitinous and clever rasps itself against the nerves of any who have come so far. A sudden roar, and then the crisp calls faltering back below into the all-encompassing voice of the forest, all its weight, all its meaning, all its memory, like the richness our histories lack, whispers where the trees are singing. The sun is still right in the very edge of vision. Grass clings, but falling quickly, the body shedding its memory of the fields, leaving it to nourish the mysteries. Turn back, or not. There is no unknowing. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Vale. And before we leave, are there some things you want to mention about Words of the Prophets?
Oh, yes. I have a play coming out. It opens on the 21st of April, closes the 23rd at Nancy Manicherian's The Cell Theater in Chelsea, Manhattan. If you're in that area and you would like an in-person ticket, hopefully Richie will put the ticket link in the chat. If you are not local to Manhattan, don't worry. All of the performances will be live streamed, and you can log in from anywhere internationally, because it's on YouTube, I think. And sorry, there was one more important thing. Oh, yes. If you cannot afford the price of a ticket, in-person tickets, I think, are $50. If live stream tickets are $20. If you cannot afford the price of either of those tickets, please contact the email that's on the ticket page and let them know you have financial need, and they will contact you with information about how to see the play for free, either online or live, depending on where you are and how much capacity we have.
That's wonderful. That's great to know. I know that you've worked hard, and people who've been working with you have been working hard to make it accessible to so many people. So that's really important stuff. And as always, such an amazing set. Vale Larkin, everyone out of Pittsburgh. So if you want to support their work, I will also share links to their social media, Linktree, all that stuff as well, so you can give a follow. Hey, what's up, everyone? We are currently running our online open mic. We do this every Monday here on YouTube. So if you have been here before, welcome back. And if this is your first time tuning in, we are happy to welcome people from all over the world to join us and share a little bit of their art, a little bit of their hearts, a little bit of something that they've been chewing on artistically, creatively, wrestling with, so to speak. So yeah, we're going to hear a little bit of everything tonight. We're going to go ahead and head to the East Coast. And as I always like to say, we're going to check in with our main man in Maine. He always comes through with such great pieces as well. He has his book out, and I just absolutely love his poetry titles too. They're some of the best around. Let's go ahead and welcome back to the online mic, Generalissimo Brian Franco. What is up, man? How you doing, Brian?
Hey, I'm sorry I can't be on camera. My computer is having all type of memory and other problems. I can't. Every time I get on camera, it just starts, my audio starts going out. So I'm going to start with this piece that I wrote after you read your poem, which had that amazing phrase. So the title is from the phrase in your poem, and it's called Atomic Whiplash. You know how in cop shows, when a house is booby-trapped with explosive, people get out just in time to not be blown up, but just in time to be thrown into the air from the front steps. Then they always get up off the ground, usually with minor injuries. In real life, when someone gets thrown by explosive force, they will likely need at least a neck brace for the whiplash. When I met you, the second you walked away, my body flew an unknown amount of miles. You were an atomic bomb that blew up in my heart. The emotional whiplash of the infatuation I suffered from your voice and the words of our easy conversation slammed my heart against the walls of my psyche, as if you were a fish hook dipped in worm smoothie, and I was an unsuspecting catfish who recently rose from the muck and mire of the riverbed. You were my savior walking on water, making me jump in the air to greet you till my gills needed resuscitation. When you allowed me back in the water, unbeknownst to me, you had turned the water to wine, leaving me in a drunken existence lest I try to breathe air again, which is not advantageous to a catfish. But at least if I ever eat an actual worm on an actual hook, whoever grills me up will have a catfish steak marinated in wine with notes of infatuation and whiplash. I pulled a couple pieces out of the archives. This piece is called Think, Blink, palm, sigh, grit, finish. Think, think, think. Scratch your skull, top your right temple with your index finger. Think, think, think. Blink your eyes. Keep them shut for a few seconds and squint when your eyes are shut. Think, think, think. Palm the top of your head like a basketball. Release your hand a split second, then squeeze again. Think, think, think. Sigh. Be aware of your sigh. Unsuccessfully try to keep it silent. Think, think, think. Grit your teeth with closed lips so no one else sees but believe they know your truth. Exhale. Release all thoughts. Start over again. This next poem is the first poem that I got published and was in an Australian anthology called Globalization. It's called Survival of the Thinkiest. I come from a place where selfishness is synonymous with survival. It is not uncommon for me to traverse knee-deep snow when getting out of bed on sweltering summer days. And despite that I am numb knee to ankle, the soles of my feet burn from scorching summer sand. There are people who claim to feel no pain when walking barefoot over hot coals. Welcome to the world of mind over matter, where people feel no pain, but their feet are bloodied and blistered. I come from a place where selfishness is synonymous with survival, where success cannot happen without sacrifice. I come from a place called Earth, a giant ball of dirt, stone, water, and gases littered with plants and animals. Amongst the animals is a creature called human. Unlike the rest who simply survive, humans think, humans reason, humans justify. There are over 7 billion humans scurrying about, trying to find their place on this place called Earth. If one of these thinking, reasoning, justifying creatures truly found its place, it could stay put. But we all have to move to get out of bed. Let's see. I guess I'll just do one more. This is a relatively newer piece called I Never Thought I Could Ever Be a Cartographer. Imagine if there were a map a person could follow to achieve joy. Being a human being is about being. It's about breathing, it's about waking up every day, it's about putting feet onto floor and getting out of bed, it's about living life, it's about deciding to do all of the above. Some days I wake to birdsong outside my bedroom window, to sunshine peeking through the blinds, but there are days I wake to rain. Rain that tap dances across the roof as if it were my destiny, to rain that feels destined to flood my day. Those days are days I need to slip on boxing gloves or brass knuckles to fight for the right to put my feet on the floor, the right to get out of bed, the right to live life. Those are the days when turning the knob on the shower feels like pushing a Sisyphus boulder. But the second the water sprays from the shower head, the steam rises against my face, the torrent touches my back, the boulder shrinks to the most minuscule pebble and washes down the drain into oblivion. I put loose Kashmiri green tea, allspice, cardamom, mace, and white peppercorns in a drawstring tea bag, then let it steep in boiled water. I drizzle coconut milk into the tea to create a chai that tastes like hope. Joy is achieved. Sometimes I listen to sad songs or watch a tearjerker till tears turn to laughter. Sometimes I go to a diner and sit at the counter to breathe in the sound of people. Sometimes I go to a museum to sit on a bench and stare at a painting in silence. Colors and brushstrokes sound like jazz, music I close my eyes to listen to. I am in a trance. I am levitating. Joy is achieved. I am charting a new map to find joy every day I wake and decide to live life. Every map is a map I must decide to chart because I don't need joy to breathe, but it sure does make life more worthwhile. Thank you.
Wow, man, I loved that one. That took me to places that I've been before. So shout out to Generalissimo. Thank you so much, man, for making it on and doing your thing. Also, if you guys want to check out another awesome show, he does Cafe Generalissimo every other Monday. So that we'll be back in 2 weeks, right? During the
That's right.
daytime.
First and third Monday every month. Yes.
Absolutely cool. And if you have any links, feel free to share that. Yeah, man. Another great set. Thank you for sharing, and also thank you for making it to my workshop. That was cool. All right. Cool. Man, my computer is going wild right now, so if I'm a little choppy, that's why. Also, I have like 20 tabs open. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to respond to people trying to get on, people asking for links. So I'm trying to work, and also, of course, promoting the live stream. So if you guys are here and you like to support these shows, something and a really easy thing you can do to support is just to share the link so people can see it. The more people that see it, the more it's pushed out, and the more people get to hear this amazing work that we get to hear every single Monday. All right, we're gonna go and keep going, and we're gonna do some Zoom traveling from Maine to El Paso, just like that. EP El Chucotown, the place to be. We got Robin Schofield up next, who always does an amazing job, and we'll be doing some tumbleboards workshops as well. But I'll let you talk about it. Robin, welcome back. Happy Monday.
Hey, Richie. Happy Monday, everybody. Okay. So I am doing Tumble Words next week. It's on Charles Simic. And I'm excited about it. He's a really great poet. Okay, so I'm going to do some a poem for Poetry Month about the Poets' Revolution that didn't succeed in Hungary. So this is called In Budapest, 1848, before the siege. Perhaps the white stag of nationhood leads Sandor Patofi out of the garret where he writes out, then crumples up his dactylic yearnings by candlelight. Or else a friend bursts in, shouting, "The French have risen up and driven out Louis Philippe and proclaimed a republic." The six-legged stag then gallops lip to lip and heralds a time of beautiful government. Folk flow into the streets. A restless river floods the parks and roars out the taboo liberal phrases. Free speech, free press, free assembly, no more secret police. Students abandon lectures on dead languages, craving wine barrels. Sorry. Poets leave their desks to throng in the free air where res publica seems a thing within reach. The students belt on rapiers, whether for style or out of a sense of foreboding. No one now living can say. And now one about, I guess, nature read in tooth and claw, as a great poet once said, Ted Hughes. It's called Another Coyote Survival Story. When the snow goose moon molts, coyote slinks off the path, not for shame, but sharp joy at the ripped iron artery spilling over yellow bedrock. She snatches whatever she can and turns up her face, but not like a bird when the rain returns and she grazes for trash and rodents and jackrabbits whose hearts roar like water wheels, whose night is a leaping, a bounding chance, betting their lives they turn the right way. Let's see. I'm reading from my book, Flow, which won an award from librarians. I don't have many more copies of it, but you can find it on Amazon. Let's see. Oh yeah, I was going to read this poem about summertime. longing for water. Native bees dance in Brownian motion around room-sized boulders at dripping springs in the Oregon mountains by the waterfall, a drip more meek since there's been no rain to speak of. The rock-ribbed tortoise may be ancient, living on gourmet horseflies in the damp cleft. The summer's blue carapace stays in place, though dimensions outcrop like artichokes. The steel blue mountain jay lets drop a dry stick, steals away silence. All right, and one more from Flo. My cat will behave. Desert gardening, Esperanza. Your seed is rather less prolific than we thought this winter that strips your ochre stem bare. The white seeds that did leaf out flew away like the words of an ancient language, which drop out of the books whose pages crumble. Then you awaken past hope, yellow bells. Oh my God. I'm sorry, destructive kitty. Then you awaken past hope, yellow bells, trumpet flower in the dry spring, late comer, Flor de San Pedro. The white egrets shelter by boulders and choose wetlands full of reeds. I look up your names in the library of erosion. How Tacoma stands, is it that water catalogs all options at once? Oh well, she knocked over some stuff, but it's no big deal. And then I want to read for my cover poem, again in honor of Poetry Month, one of my favorite guys, Theodore Ruthke. I can't recommend him highly enough. And this one I'm sure some of you know, but it's fun to read out loud. It's a villanelle and it's called The Waking. I wake to sleep and take my waking slow. I feel my fate in what I cannot fear. I learn by going where I have to go. We think by feeling. What is there to know? I hear my being dance from ear to ear. I wake to sleep and take my waking slow. Of those so close beside me, which are you? God bless the ground. I shall walk softly there and learn by going where I have to go. Light takes the tree, but who can tell us how? The lowly worm climbs up a winding stair. I wake to sleep and take my waking slow. Great nature has another thing to do to you and me, so take the lively air and lovely, learn by going where to go. This shaking keeps me steady. I should know what falls away is always and is near. I wake to sleep and take my waking slow. I learn by going where I have to go. All right, that's what I have today. So do try to come to Tumble Words. We're going to be looking at 3 poems by Charles Simic this Saturday at 1 p.m. Mountain Time, 1 to 3. And hopefully we'll be getting 3 good starts on poems. I also have a book coming out sometime, maybe in May, maybe in June. I don't have a definite date, but I know it's getting close. It's called Ridge of High Pressure. And I hope it comes out in May because the first poem begins in May. It's all about the weather and climate change and dogs and coyotes and all kinds of stuff like that. So
All right. Yeah. Can't wait to pick up a copy of that. Shout out to Mouthfeel Press. And yeah, always great to have Robin on the show, both online and in person. We were able to celebrate the community this past week. We had Oso Lobo visit us, and he was here for several days. Got to do several open mics and some recordings, and that was a whole lot of fun. It's always really great to meet a lot of you guys that we've met online in these past couple of years, and yeah, it was a real treat to have feature him in two shows and hear his work. So yeah, I say this again: if you guys are ever in the area, Paso, Las Cruces, Juarez area, hit me up. We always got shows going on. If I don't, I know our next performer does. There's a bunch of more shows popping up where you can share your poetry, and that's just the best. I love it. So that is my segue. Making their return. It's always great when people make it back a second time. Joining us from Las Cruces, someone that I love attending their shows and even performing with them. They are the king, simply put. Let's go ahead and welcome to the stage Lizard King. Welcome back. Yo. Let's see.
Yo.
Hey.
Oh. Hi. Shout out. Thanks, Richie. Happy Poetry Month. Biggest shout out to Richie for keeping all this shit going. Yeah, real shit. I mean, it's good to perform, but it's also nice, like, at the end of the day, like, I think some of us just need to let shit out, you know? But yeah, here's some new stuff. I woke up the other day with this poem in my head. And I just woke up and I started writing, and that felt really good. Real shit. So here's the most recent one I gave birth to. It's called Somehow. In my head, I was fucked up, out of luck, stuck on the wrong side of the fence, always playing defense, sucked up all my good luck. Sucks to be an imposter, living such a wonderful life. It's a wonderful life. Peter Bailey with his kids and wife. Oh me, oh my, please don't. Remind me of all those times I wanted to die. I wanted to find a way out through the dungeon, through the needle's eye. I couldn't find the light. All the good love felt like a lie. I repeat the same shit. Remind myself of when I took a big hit. Someone picked me back up. I mean, but for the grace of God go I. It was do or I. Please don't drag my body back to bed and tell me you love me. You'll make me cry. Again, pick me off the couch inside my head. Oh yeah, a lot of this shit exists inside my head. My head is where the trouble starts. Please take me back to Mario Kart, to Head Start. Got my life back at 22. It's been 5 years and 3 months at this time of finally feeling love. 22, not quite a head start, but I was ripped apart, didn't have a blues clue. Tell me again who's who, who's the higher power, and who's the one living for just an hour. Give me back the love. Let me sit silent, brain with all the flowers. Throw it back to Walt Whitman, he said. Every ember would emerge again. Get that? He said, all the love. He said, all the love, the light, it'll return back to your head. So instead of going back to bed, write down a list of every good morning, the happy shit, the sweeter trysts, reuniting with everyone you missed. When I came back to life, I came back to everything I missed. So I insist. It might feel stupid, but that's because I'm on the other end. I'm feeling lucid. I know it's hard to believe since I'm the one with glitter, but I once felt like you just did. Bought a storage unit just to stick my heart up on the shelf. Was sick of my own self, but you couldn't tell. Actually, everyone could. Had the whole world ask me if I was all right, looking like I was about to cry, no lie. Woke up every day hoping for accidents. I mean, I wish I would die. And it's all right to feel a little low sometimes, but please call for help if you want to die sometimes. Can't always leave it all up to rhymes. I promise, if you wait, everything is going to be great. And if you need a fast reminder, you can always call 988. And maybe it was fate. Someone answered back. I called for help, powered down on the racetrack. Last lap, I'm out, coach. Got another panic attack back to back. Not sure if I could hack it. Just get back up. Okay, now back up. I got back up or out of bed for the first time in years. I was full of fear. Oh dear, like shaking a heartbeat quick. And I was making monsters out of shadows. Been living in the shallows. Searching for the hallows every day. Halloween. I dress up as myself and make me scream. Somehow found the holy door. Walked in a sacred room. Heard everyone tell my story. They had all the same glories. Different ins and outs, but never boring. Bad coffee and holy mornings. Driving to work, I can't imagine what I did to deserve this beautiful life. Whatever, it really is a wonderful life. Somehow today I'm happy and breathing fine. But for the grace of God go I mean some divine power saved my life one day. I'll tell you guys about the whole month I was seeing doves, no lie. Yeah, never alone. So many people held me up. I was never really out of luck or fucked up. You're not fucked up. You're just tired of living the same day on repeat, of reheating the same thoughts, eating all your fears. Do you hear me? I could have never done it alone. I learned that my people are my home. And I think God lives in the telephone. Yeah, it's weird doing it virtual and like not having the crowd response. This next one, I was looking through my poetry the other day and totally forgot that I wrote it. But this would have gone in my last book. We only have so much time. It's called All Those Other Lives. Kind of imagining all the lives I could have lived. I'm 21. I take a drink and never look back. I keep running. Sorry, for context, so this poem makes a little bit more sense. In my real life, I have celebrated 5 years sober, and a lot of these are like digressions from that. I feel like it makes it make more sense. I'm 21. I take a drink and never look back. I keep running with my shoes off at all those house parties. I keep standing around outside feeling lonely, but not knowing what else you can do on a Saturday night. To fill the void and quiet the voices, I stay there as long as I can until someone takes me home. I'm 18 and shy. I imagine myself in front of people and speaking. And then I imagine myself speaking above a whisper. It seems unimaginable. I still can't walk alone through lunchrooms without feeling my cheeks light up. They still feel draped with lonely. I take my first drink and wonder what the rest of my life will look like. I'm 10 and stay up organizing all night by color and folding and arranging. The itching in my chest doesn't go away and I don't sleep. I don't think this will ever go away. One day I hope the racing thoughts will quiet. I'm 22 and I almost die, and I keep hoping I die. I wake up almost disappointed. I spend the year in bed and hide in dark rooms. I can't imagine a future. I can't imagine living past 23. I feel good at night and wish the cocaine would fuse with my blood so I could just stay awake. I'm 30 and can't stop moving. I organize my books on my shelf for 3 hours. I clean all night. I spend the rest of the time writing and hope it makes sense. My hands are so dry from washing them over and over because everything needs to be cleaner. Nothing feels good enough and I don't want to talk to anyone. I can't breathe today. I haven't called anyone in weeks. I'm 23 and hoping I finish college soon. My brain is beginning to work again. I think I can do it. I'm officially diagnosed with bipolar. We find the right meds, or at least the right direction for the right meds. I'm 26 and I don't feel the itch to organize at 2 a.m. anymore. Most of the time I go to sleep. I'm 40 and I imagine getting in front of a mic. I imagine all the things I might say one day to people. I hope one day I get the courage to be honest. I imagine speaking things I wrote. I get embarrassed just thinking about it. I write all the time and imagine what people might think. I stay quiet and work, but I wonder if people might think the same sad things that I do. Maybe it's too late to try. I'm 28 and I hope that I finish college. I think maybe if I stop drinking, I can just stay awake in the morning. Maybe I can stay in class this time. I hold myself down and stay sober for a month at a time and fall back down. One day I want to be proud of myself, but I just want to feel good. I am 50 and I can't seem to shake this feeling that something isn't right. Maybe I'll go to therapy. Maybe I'll remember things. Maybe I'll stop drinking, but I worry about walking into a room and feeling the eyes on me and figuring out how to speak to the human in front of me. Maybe I'll get out of bed today. I wish I could find the words and get them out. I'm 13 and I lay in bed again. I'm failing classes for the first time and I find out what failure means. I learn anxiety and restlessness. I come home and sleep. I still find myself reading whenever I wake up. I'm 60 and I think I might take up sketching again. I wonder what it might have been like if I kept up with it. But I'm glad that I stuck through all the tasks and built my beautiful life. I wonder what I should do now. I think back to when I was younger and used to read all day. I'm sorry, quick pause. My cats. Okay, sorry, cats. I imagine writing again. I imagine buying a piano and fitting it somewhere in the living room. I'm 26 and a little sad today, but grateful. My cats are purring extra today, and my biggest problem was finding the discipline to sit down and write. My biggest problem was taking the time to listen to myself. I take deep breaths and tell people I've just met to take deep breaths with me. I tell people it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. I tell them that 99% of life is showing up. I've been sober for 5 years now, one miracle at a time. Some days I fake it, but I still come. I'm 27 with a whole life ahead of me, and I think of every life behind me. I think of every miracle or whatever you want to call them, and sometimes I think about all those other lives. I'll do one more if that's okay.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, cool. This one is kind of like for the crowd. I wrote this one like as a meditation for me and for you. So if you guys want, you can just close your eyes if you're not already. Let it lull you. It's called The Room. You wake up and you find yourself stuck in a room. This room is so full of stuff you thought you gave away a long time ago. Something's broken, something's lost. You start by adding some lights here and there, opening a window, letting the room soak in the golden hour. You dust off a few things and pull them off the shelf. Suddenly there are so many boxes that are just boxes, not something to lean on, or suddenly the boxes move around and fade. As you wake up, you notice the room change and grow. Suddenly there are more chairs around the table, more cups of tea. There is a song that plays in the background on repeat, and you know it, somehow know all the words. In the night, the branches might knock across your window, but your old fear is asleep, curled up in the corner and just sighs. Sometimes the room becomes a single window. Sometimes the walls press in and hold you. You come home to the light on. The table gets bigger and you keep remembering to water all the plants. Even the walls grow. The windowsills grow tendrils and the ceiling sways. When you inhale, this whole room sways in and the branches whoosh back out, expanding. You feel nothing but the breeze between your leaves. You feel stronger, sturdy. You wake up again in a forest, suddenly roots connected to so many other swaying leaves. There is no more sailing and the rain pours. The forest growing and changing, the light lifting and moving. Photons living in your stems. You lived in a room once, filled with so many things you can't remember now. You stretch into the horizon and become the sun, become the squawks and the deep breaths, become the water and the soil, become your face among so many faces. Just before you say, I love you. Okay, that's it for me tonight. I guess the only thing I would add for plugs and stuff is my website is lizardglitter.org. I have tons of events going on in Las Cruces, poetry, adulting lectures that I've just started on adulting stuff, like making it fun and cool, like budgeting and time management. Doing a songwriting workshop this Thursday in a coffee shop in Las Cruces. I also have on my website a petition to reopen the psychiatric unit I was working in. It's been closed for like 6 months and it's fucked up. But yeah, that's it. I'm done.
Awesome. Yes. Thank you, Lizard King. And as I always like to say, that is everything. Feel free to share any links that you want to as well that I can pass along. Cool. Thanks for joining us. And in this time, we've had a couple people join the room. Do you want to give a shout out? So if you do want to perform and you haven't signed up, let us know. Shout out to Sammy checking it out. We got Sandy Shakes in the house. What? Oh man, that's a name. Hey. But yeah, welcome guys. If you want to sign up, let me know. Just shoot us a message. I'm adding Tessa Somok as well. But I didn't know about the website either. I gotta add that now to your bio here. Lizard King has also recorded a couple poems sessions in our Fresh Cut series, which you can find on our YouTube channel. In addition to all the online mics we do every Monday, I am posting other content. The Fresh Cut series, which is kind of like Tiny Desk Concert meets Bun Poetry, kind of, but we're trying to do our own thing still, obviously. And of course, clips from open mics and featured sets from musicians that show up at our shows that I call I already forget what I call it. The Speakeasy. So yeah, you can find a bunch of series. We also do a podcast. I'm a little behind on editing some episodes, but we do a podcast as well. All right, we're gonna go ahead and keep going. We're gonna stick around in the animalistic. What? Okay, I'm dropping that. Yo, we're gonna go from lizards to chameleons. From Las Cruces to New Jersey. NJ, we got Chameleon Poetic up next in the house. Terry Rose Dirtson, what's up? Chameleon Poetic.
What's up? Hey. Something great just happened in the on the previous open mic. I actually won a spot to be one of the first features that I don't know if they've ever had features, but if they did a long time ago, they're gonna start it up again. And I'm so excited. Anyway, I'll try to calm down. Okay. If I knew then what I know now is a loaded question. Would I have done the same? Probably not. Or on more than one occasion, what I did for love comes to mind. What I did for love, my heart leading the way, was my error. The mind rationalizing my stupid decision was my heart trying to convince my mind of this. My brainless heart, my heartless mind, always at war with each other. My therapist gets it, and all my money. And I have Pearls of Wisdom. This is from the Tumble Words Workshop. Growing up on these pearls of wisdom, children should be seen and not heard. When in doubt, leave it out of the mouths of babes. If you can't say anything nice, don't say anything. Silent as the grave. When someone tells me to be silent as the grave, I picture shoveling earth, creaky caskets closing, then covering up with more earth, and finally a funeral, all of which are pretty damn noisy. I suppose they would be referring to the fact that after you're dead, your mouth is forever closed. Oh, how I wish it were true in real life for a choice few. But then again, how could we ever hear these pearls of wisdom if the giver of said pearls were to be silent? Thank you.
Thank you, Terry. Awesome. Cool. And anything else? Any last plugs before we move on?
I have a couple of podcasts that I just got an interview, and it's on, I'm not sure the name. It's a brand new one, something about sweets. The person was on here, I think, or on Tumble Words, or on here. I can't remember where, but he got talking about this podcast that he's starting, and it's about candy, and he starts out by asking you what your favorite candy is, and then read maybe a poem or two, and then just talk about whatever. And so I was like the fourth person, and it's recorded, and I'm going to be posting it as soon as he posts it, so you guys can look at it. And he's also probably looking for more people to do this with. He did say he was getting filled, so I'm not sure how many more people he can use, but there's that. And then I'm going to be doing karaoke with Marissa on the last Saturday of the month, starting with this month. So the last Saturday of this month, I'm going to just do karaoke. One Saturday a month, I think I can handle. And then my book, The Chameleon Chronicles, I'm always plugging that. That if anyone's interested in my book, it's $15 plus shipping, and you can hit me up, or you can actually go on redorgreenbooks.com and order it right from the website. My IG handle is The Chameleon Poetic. You can hit me up there, or my Facebook name is my name, Teresa Rose Jertson.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Terry Rose Jertson in the house, in la casa. I don't know who that is. If anyone knows that podcaster, that's really cool. And I only hope that their theme song is a Sugar Sugar by the Archies, because that's right where my mind went when I heard about that podcast. Anyway, we got more peeps being added as we speak, so stick around for an updated list. But right now we're going to come back to Texas. We're doing a little bit of jumping around. Went from El Paso to New Jersey, back to Texas, but we're not going to come back to El Paso. We're going to go to Level Land. Level Land. Is it a plane? Is it? I don't know. We'll find out. But we've got lungs of dust in the house. So we're going from lizards to chameleons to the dust. What an interesting set of performers we have here. Yes, we have lungs of dust next up on the mic. How you doing today? Happy Monday.
Hey Richie. So it's not a plane, but we do live in the plains. You know. Anyway, I guess that was my introduction joke that we all talked about before. So I have a couple of things I'm gonna read today. My first one is untitled, like they all are, and I kind of finished it up today. So here it goes. My blinds are half open as the midnight's moon peeks in. Its blue ray casting shadows on my skin. I watch these shadows turn into a black galaxy full of stars, and off they went to be scars, all on my skin, a punishment for sin. By now, I know a woman's home can be lonely, especially with nothing holy to keep her whole. By now, I know that walls breathe, and they bleed when you plunge a sheath. By now, I know a woman can drown while burning, and the world doesn't bat an eye to her war cry. That one is my first one. And so this was going to be completely different, and it just kind of turned a little dark. I mean, I can't help it, right? So my second one, it's my last one. I actually wrote this maybe like a year and a half ago, and it was doing like a D&D campaign, and I'm off over here like writing about just making something up. So this is kind of one of those. I feel like it's in a very like D&D like war driven place that I kind of wrote it from. So I promise I'm not this violent, just want to say. So this is called Deadly Romancing on Bloody Sundays. It actually has a title and it's long. So, all right. I cast you to your last breath, sentence you to an endless death, straight to the hells of the unknown, the things that lie beneath a headstone. By the thought of my vengeance comes this fire and fury, and a touch from my blade, the jury. I'm cutting throats today, making them all bleed, growing deaf as they plead. I'm the foe, cutting their throats nice and slow. I'm a fire-breathing beast who will turn villages into a feast. The plotting done behind gates, I think of the hell my blade creates, and those other angels, and those, oops, sorry. Okay. The plotting done behind gates, I think of the hell my blade creates, and those other angels turn monsters, what pretty martyrs. I'm cutting throats today. I hope you remember to pray on this bloody Sunday. And that's it. Thank you.
Yeah, awesome. Is there anything you'd like to promote right now?
I have nothing to promote. I mean, I'm doing stuff here, but you know, just nothing quite solid yet that I can like, you know, put it out there, but maybe soon.
Yes, absolutely. And we got a lot of cool workshops coming this month. Tell me where you should hit them up.
Okay, so I have been thinking about it. I'm so sad. I work at a theater on Saturday. So I am hoping this summer, whenever like school ends and stuff, because it's part of like the middle school job. I'm hoping this summer I can actually join a couple with you guys. I would love to.
Yes.
Okay, I promise.
Right on. Cool. Thank you, Arlette. Lungs of Dust, which is also like just one of the coolest names. I love
Thanks,
that
man.
you're sticking with it.
It was like 23-year-old me who came up with it. So, you know, you gotta thank her.
It rocks. Cool. Thank you so much for being here as always. When I used that T.S. Eliot one before, right? He said, I'll show you fear in a handful of dust. But here, I'll show you awesomeness and a lung of dust. I don't know. I'll work on that. Alrighty then. We're gonna go ahead and go stick around in Texas, but we're gonna head more west. In fact, the furthest west we can go. The furthest best we can go. Even in El Paso, we're going west. So we have Mr. Monday Night, who comes through all the time, in person, online. Always great to have him be part of this. And of course, Tumble Words, you already know. Let's go ahead and welcome to the stage, Mr. Kit Wren. Take it away, man. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. Thank you, Richie, for taking the day back from that lying fool Garfield. We're in a much more Heathcliff, whimsical kind of place. You know, there's going to be a time when you'll have to pick which cartoon cat you follow. Think about it. Two of mine and then the cover poem. I haven't decided which one to do yet. But we're going to start off with something silly, something called Rough Drafts. For sale, baby shoes, never worn. Nobody's dead. I was just drunk on eBay again. And I'm trying to make the best of a bad situation. Also willing to sell complete DVD set of Kolchak the Night Stalker, same kind of deal. For sale, baby shoes, never worn. I got lost in the store. These are obviously too small. I don't know what I was thinking. I guess I just panicked. For sale, baby shoes, never worn. This gift was not funny, Greg. This is the last straw. My entire life, people have made fun of me for my incredibly small feet. I remember very clearly the first such instance when a fourth grade PE teacher said that I looked like a hippopotamus trying to balance itself on two toothpicks. For sale, baby shoes, never worn. What do you mean? Why did I write never worn on the tag? Because I had space. Are you going to buy them or not? Is this what you do? You just go to garage sales and you call people liars? And you're just supposed to put up with it? Oh, yeah? Well, maybe your lady protests too much, trash dick. For sale, baby shoes, never worn. Welcome to the new baby shoes store. Our founder, Thurman Barkshat III, started in Tacoma, Washington, with a $7,000 loan, a property that used to be a circuit city, and a dream that people could find guaranteed, never worn shoes for their babies and infants at a reasonable price. For sale, Meta short story collection. Too niche. Right. Okay. Concreteness, as it is commonly used in this field, is an abstraction. It makes no distinction between carpet or tile, between yellow or green grass. These details are to be used, says the professor, to create a real feeling in the reader. Whatever that means. This authenticity is the goal. Even though every tool in our toolbox is fictive, the reader, too, is fictive. His crying produces neither sound nor lacrimony. Her laughter stops with her and does not ripple through her neighbors. We imagine them as strangers that we will compel by sheer magnetism to become friends. In the pursuit of these new friends, plans with old friends are rescheduled. As we catalog the verdant fields our love and we walk through, the lawn grows sick and undisciplined, and our love disorderly. And so, poetry is feared rather than consumed. The passersby salute it like a flag, but pay no taxes. It is invoked like magic or violence in place of itself, a threat or a vague and vast gesture of praise. And the poet, well, I have no complaints. These people treat me well. But when they discover I am a man who cannot and would not grant their wishes, I fear they will feel lied to. And if I remember right, I wrote that in a tumble words, and I was trying to ape the poem I'm picking for the cover poem tonight. This is Ars Poetica by Czeslaw Milosz. It's got a little question mark. That's from the voice. Yeah, translated by the author himself and Lillian Valley. I have always aspired to a more spacious form that would be free from the claims of poetry or prose and would let us understand each other without exposing the author or reader to sublime agonies. In the very essence of poetry, there is something indecent. A thing is brought forth which we didn't know we had in us. So we blink our eyes as if a tiger had sprung out and stood in the light, lashing his tail. That's why poetry is rightly said to be dictated by a daimonian, though it's an exaggeration to maintain that he must be an angel. It's hard to guess where that pride of poets comes from, when so often they're put to shame by the disclosure of their frailty. What reasonable man would like to be a city of demons, who behave as if they were at home, speak in many tongues, and who, not satisfied with stealing his lips or his hand, work at changing his destiny for their convenience? It's true that what is morbid is highly valued today, and so you may think that I am only joking, or that I've devised just one more means of praising art with the help of irony. There was a time when only wise books were read, helping us to bear our pain and misery. This, after all, is not quite the same as leafing through 1,000 works fresh from psychiatric clinics. And yet the world is different from what it seems to be. And we are other than how we see ourselves in our ravings. People therefore preserve silent integrity, thus earning the respect of their relatives and neighbors. The purpose of poetry is to remind us how difficult it is to remain just one person. For our house is open, there are no keys in the doors, and invisible guests come in and out at will. What I'm saying here is not, I agree, poetry, as poems should be written rarely and reluctantly, under unbearable duress, and only with the hope that good spirits, not evil ones, choose us for their instrument.
Yeah.
Right. If you know the words. We got at Instagram, we got Kit Ran Away, Twitter at Kit Talk Sports, which you get what you pay for, and Twitter's free for now. You can follow me on Goodreads, where I review books pretty much as soon as I finish them. Just a constant churning of reading. That's what I do in my spare time. Ko-fi.com/KitRen, a very precious and belletristic blog about American football and its history. You can find me on Facebook easy enough. PayPal is connected to my email, or you could just send me a regular old email. And humble words this month, as it's so weird to refer to her by her government name because she's also my mom, but this week it will be Robin Schofield, as she mentioned earlier, with a tribute to Charles Simic. The week after that will be our friend from New Jersey, Nick Paleologos. On the 22nd, we will have local legend Ray Ramos. And the 29th, we'll have the very host of this program, Richie Marrufo, with some mixtape music. And also something, we started the motion for something else the evening of the 29th. As soon as I have more details, I'll share them. But, eyes and ears. And we'll hand it back to Richie, and he'll conduct the rest of the night. Thank you all so much.
All right, awesome. Thank you, Kit. All right, man. Did you guys see my Zoom rectangle dance? I always like to do a little movement. on the rectangle. Something we do at these shows, get to dance from my chair. That's living life, baby. No, check out Poetry Month, Tumble Words. Be on the lookout. The 29th, we are looking to do a Tumble Words reading for Poetry Month. How many years now? 28? 28 years. Wow. And also,
28.
yeah, I want to give a shout out also to Katarina for some awesome artwork. Kit shared it on Facebook if you have them there. We got to update the Tumble Words picture for it. We should do that. Anyway, what is up, everyone? Monday night open mic. We got some awesome people up next. We're gonna travel a little bit to the West Coast for our next. Hold on, 3 performers before we head back to the East Coast. And our next performer wants a little bit of a web redemption. They insist that they flubbed their poem, the poem that they're going to read horribly last time, but the truth is I don't remember that, unless it was in another mic, but I highly doubt that, and it's probably all in your head. But you know what? We'd love to hear it anyway. Reading the constellations, joining us from the constellations. We don't have Doc Janning in the house, so it's got to be you. Let's go ahead and welcome back to the stage the one, the only Finn Bell. Hey.
Hey. Thanks so much, Richie. Yeah, I just read the next poem I'm going to read just about like half an hour ago at the New Yo, and I completely flubbed it. Thank God you guys weren't there to hear me, so I'm going to redeem myself. First, I'm going to read my first entry for NaPoWriMo, which is called Awaken. Rise from among the clouds, siren keeper. See the sun scrawl, gold-tipped pen, thick strokes stirring the sky's hues. The stars are disgruntled tea cakes, consistently cut to let the school of rosy spotted koi fish navigate the Milky Way with ease. Muse at the ringmasters, losing his bearings, tipping the fragile crystal sugar menagerie over, glass and animal crackers, raining down newborn ideas upon our bird nesting crowns. Mr. Pachyderm, in a perpetual fuss over time, hails the next available hot air balloon to work today. And this was inspired by the prompt for day 1, which is write a poem based on a book cover. And they showed first edition book covers for On a Lark to the Planets by Francis Trego Montgomery, The Water Babies, Charles Kingsley, and A Mask of Days by Charles Lamb. So this is the one I flubbed. Thank you. Get to listen to again. It's called Sea Air. It will be your sleeping face that stirs my passion still. I will temper what craves in seaweed movement, sleek, hidden away. I anticipate our time of awakening. I would like to feign this slumber a minute longer. I would like to pretend at first my eyelids toppled half-moon crescents, your senses igniting your body conscious. A torrent washes over us, laps at my toes, overwhelms my still burrowed face. I separate our swimming forms. Can a mere human hand divide the return of the tide from the ocean into which it nestles? You muttered unintelligible dreams last night, wrangled the sun to singe my skin, and the moon of me curved and moaned and hastened her 8 phases. We do not sink into the whirlpool, forming between our love-welded bodies, prizing us apart to sample and savor our dark desires' depths. We summon the skies to our aid. He cries and rumbles in response. I cannot deny us the tight-lipped oyster, the obscure pregnant telltale in her curved shell, the secretive pearl at her core. I am fiendish as I hoard her. She, the one who holds our fervent invocation, unthing, toward the faraway world remains ashore. I will be sentinel. The sirens chant, their tails tunneling the way to Fathom's cellar. I will hold you back from answering their call. I am the lighthouse and you are the shipwreck. My voice carries through the heavy curtain night, diverts you. You reach for me to touch the twin flames upon the tips of my breast. Anticipate the honed, frantic entry into these harbors, your safety. It is here at long last you recognize home. I am the waters that flow around you, a remembering of each life before and coming. I am the sea, witch, and your ripened, opalescent half-dream. I refuse you the oxygen to inhale deeply into your lungs' chambers. I will steal back that air. I want you to awaken, to breathe back into this life on your own. Thank you.
Ooh, awesome. Yeah, that was great. Finn Bell. And is there anything really quick? How can people connect with you online if they wish to do so?
You could find me on Instagram. I am at Finn_Bell. And I have my first poetry games of April this Thursday. It is going to be facilitated by the wonderful, the amazing, the mysterious Frog Corpse. It's called Landscape Poetry, The Road Not Taken. And that is 10 a.m. Pacific. Yeah.
Oh, very cool. Awesome. And feel free to share any links for anything coming up. We will forward that. I love it what Sandy Shakes wrote in the Zoom chat. You can find her everywhere. And it's true. She's such a great supporter of everyone, but also we're such great supporters of her. You can find her, Finn Bell. I will post link trees and stuff in just a moment. But always great having you, joining us. And we're going to stick around on the West Coast. We have another person we haven't seen in quite some while, but I mean that's also kind of the treat, right? Like, oh hey, look who made it tonight, and it's amazing. You guys ready to shake the mic? That's right, it is time to welcome back to the show Sandy Shakes out of Los Angeles. What is up, Sandy? How you doing?
Hey, mic check, mic check. Hey, Richie, hey, Kit. I'm a little raspy, but I needed to make it tonight. Here we go. 2 short pieces because I know it's past your bedtime over there. Let's go. First piece, a tribute. My tears gone dry, I wonder why. I keep writing, but I fall. The morning sun now skips my window, and I see no light at all. Even when I pray for you and say, if you help her, then I'll call. I'll call on the voice of an honorary chingona, the one that lost her own echo, but not let her lucha along the campesino screaming, si se puede, because Miss Donna always referred to them as mi gente, a warrior with red hair and pale skin. She was amongst the few Americanas that gave a fuck, laughed out of courthouses for protecting brown faces. My tears gone dry, I wonder why. I keep writing, but I fall. The morning sun now skips my window, and I see no light at all. Even when I pray for you and say, if you help her, then I'll call. I am reminded that chingonas come in different shapes and sizes, and Donna came when the mic was ripe, when it was ready to be picked and nurtured into poets that would one day remember her as a maestra, poets who followed her word and refused to come home for Christmas so they can enjoy real gifts on the road with the wind where she now breathes free. She never had children, but birthed a workshop who made it past 27 and continues to birth pieces from poets who never knew they had it in them. I had a girl, Donna was her name. My tears gone dry, I wonder why. I keep writing, but I fall. The morning sun now greets my window, and I see you when I call. Now you're safe and no more pain, my dear. You'll be glad you missed it all. And reminded that it's not so sad. There's no more bad. Thank you. First piece. All right. One more. Let's go. When I am flooded in wax, I am too exhausted to dream on how to burn. Every muscle hurts. My shoulders weigh ancestral pounds of memories that still ache. I don't want them to know my name. Take me back to when I waited in the alley of a half-made. Take me back to when I waited in the alley of a half-made stage. The house was falling apart, the curtains too thin to shield, and the crowd was standing room only. The energy there electrified my mic. I don't want them to know my name. They used to remember the peace and forget my name. Let me exit quietly while the stage lights dim. I float back to poets on deck. They give me props and I quietly escape. I can't breathe. They want my oxygen. The wax fills my lungs. My shimmer becomes malnutrition and is starved for peace. What can I do when the same thing that keeps my heartstrings intact also rips them apart? Broken heart syndrome will forever play the wrong chords. From the stress of pouring more and more out of me and feeling the wax climb closer to my light, it makes my pen sticky sometimes. It makes people go away after they have taken a lifetime supply of the glow they pocketed. They take, I give, they take, I can't breathe. The wax covers my tongue and my words won't sing. I need poetry. I don't need fame. Poetry needs me. Fame keeps no one. I tattoo every snap and bathe in the aroma of the roses written in the chat for me. But the wax, my oxygen is leaving. Take me back to when we waited in an old mic and an old alley to wait for an old mic when Casa had not enough chairs. And the ones that were there felt perfectly broken, like every artist that loved them. They remembered the pieces and promised to forget my name. Some days I still dream of that beautiful flame. Thank you.
Oh, killer pieces, Sandy. The mic hath been shooketh. Do you have anything coming up? How can people follow and support you? Because we have people tuning in and seeing you for the first time, but I know they want to support you.
Thank you, everyone. Yeah, follow me on Instagram on Sandy Shakes a Mic. I'm always putting everything I'm into in that forum. And also I am starting to host open mic once a month, which I fitted into my schedule. So April 14, I'm hosting on behalf of Tesoro, the amazing, powerful all-women organization. So go ahead and follow Sandy Shakes the Mic, and I'll post our upcoming feature in a couple of weeks. Thank you, El Paso. Thank you, Richie. Thank you, Kit. So much love.
Yo, thank you so much. You had always so many lines that make me go, oof, oof. Never talk about that one a lot. I'm always about the snap and the clap and the but sometimes you also have the oof, ooh, a little gut punch there. Yes, we should be reacting to poetry viscerally like that. Alrighty then, it's Poetry Month. What a great way to start it off, guys. Next up, we're gonna go to San Francisco with some more poetry. That's right. Let's go ahead and welcome back to the show, Tanish. What is up, Tanish? Happy Monday. Glad you made it with us.
Yeah, me too. Happy Monday. It's going good. I actually had a total change of thought. I was gonna read some stuff, but then I was like, maybe I shouldn't read that, or maybe I should read something different. So I will say, I hate doing this, I'm sorry. So I will just do these 4, but they're very short. Messages between worlds. Did you hear the rabbit last night? It was chomping a leaf on the lamppost on the corner. I looked up to its shadow stamped against the pregnant moon. It said, tomorrow is the beginning of the womb. And you formed the skeleton. With as much thought for food, stuff it full. Give it innards and fascia. Give it skin, blood, wine, and watch it weave into water what it's supposed to become for the masses. Wild like this poem. This day of dreams drifts through the wind, free from dread, waiting to be something. Wild like this poem. Within the world, explosions of ink to drink from, our freedom honoring the page. But our bones tingle, talking with the spirits far beyond the pain, beyond the dead. Deja vu. When we sleep, the night nourishes our nerves, never forgets our terror, massages our minds if we let it, with lavender lacing our neurons, an aroma so fleeting we can't remember while awake amid acrid egos, until the air pricks your brainstem through the nostrils, jolting you up, and consumes your nose with that sweet floral scent, seemingly from nowhere. Memories like whiplash, seeing into your REM life. You sigh, sated. And this is the last one. Ceramic urn. Nightmares linger like unwanted guests, like ghosts swarming the rooms of your mind. You haven't stepped in for centuries of past lives and what you came here for. I tackle my shadows elusive, I lure and trap them in a jar. I massage from clay a ceramic urn for our sins, a reminder that we are not more than our actions, our thoughts. But every day we can be better than our dragons breathe water onto the fire. Okay, that's it. Thank you.
Ooh, that last line. Ooh, I like that. Tanish, how can people support and follow you online if this is their first time catching you?
You can get to most of my stuff through tanishcantos.com and Tanish Cantos on IG and YouTube. And that's it. I have something, but it's local in Berkeley on Friday. So if you're down to like see that, let me know.
Yeah, awesome. We'll do. Thank you, Tanish. One of the coolest things too about all these online spaces, not just this one, but many of the ones that you've heard about tonight, is just that we've built up a network all around the country. So when we travel, we get to hit people up. So hey, I'm looking at a lot of West Coast peeps. Okay, there's a tour coming along. Same with the East Coast peeps. All right, and I'm gonna make my way everywhere in between. I don't know. That'll happen sometime. Alrighty then. Next up on the mic, we're actually gonna go from West Coast to East Coast. We got, well, time zone. We got Ed Poetastic up next, joining us from Washington D.C. Yeah, you know me. That's what he always likes to write on the sign up sheet, and this is true. Indeed. It's Eddie P. Take it away, my friend. Glad to have you here. Happy Monday and Poetry Month.
Thank you. Happy Poetry Month. And thank you, my protested brother, like no other, with words like thunder. Woo! Happy Poetry Month. And you can have poetry out with a few jokes for you folks. Hope everyone get their buckles. So get ready to yuckle. Okay, this is 6 jokes. The first joke is, what class did Humpty Dumpty teach? Egoology. Let's get cracking. What were the Bugs band's name? The Fireflies. What do bananas call a breakup? A split. Yeah, Richie. Great minds think alike. What was the octopus job at the newspaper company? Ink dispenser. And why don't people like the bull? He was a big bully. And last but not least, what did the fish said at the aquarium? Something smells fishy, and it's not me. Thank you. All right, I got a poem. It's a homage to Frankenstein. This is called Green-Eyed Monster. I'm a monster, but I'm timid, not monstrous. I clench only roses, daisy, and violets in my fist. I know I look sickly green, unhumanely tall, and simply dubious. No, I don't eat people, but mainly vegetables and fish. How'd I came to be in my spontaneous misery? I heard it's alive. Then my body felt jittery. Moving my body was slippery and trickery. Only mumbles and grunts were my delivery. My whole body made from the dead. Yes, you heard what I said. I still feel their memories and emotions inside my head. I hear cries, laughs, curses, moans when I go to bed. My memories are pieces flowing into my mind, the mementos of the dead that are not left behind. Our lives, fates, and destiny, even our bodies are entwined. I'm their mumbling, stumbling, unholy guide. I'm Frankenstein. No, my golly father is. No, it's not Jor Divine. It's not my name, but his. It's his name, not mine. I am the no name, and he's the science whiz. Asked my father, what was my purpose? He started showing me complex notes. He simply says, I'm an experiment he wants to promote. He said, out of all his failed experiments, he loved me the most. Father did make me a feminine undead lover. I adore tender moans for each other, a new shade of warmth for this grotesque monster. After her death, I still suffer from a pain I can't recover. At a moment of rage, I broke out of my remote cage. I stumbled to a vivid and green stage, a new lively and vibrant page. The fluffy creatures and tiny dots were strange. I met a little girl by the pond. Her dress was colorful with hair so blonde. She stared at me, curious and odd, a new beginning of our strange bond. She laughed and gave me a tiny flower, the fragrant scent with a warm shower. I'm her friendly, green, and unique tower. It was nice experiencing something so sweet then sour. I heard a voice. She smiled and waved at me. She said, see you again when I'm free. I'll stay here resting underneath a tree. It'll be me with plants, animals, and bumblebees. I woke up. There she was, my dearest friend. We're going to have fun over again. Let's play tag, hide and seek, or pretend. A loud scream transcended. A man screamed, honey, get away from that thing. The silver tongue did hurt and sting. The sharp rocks started to fling. I left. His rage still ringed. I ran to a abandoned house. I was quieter than any church mouse. Had my doubts when I heard shouts. They kept me in while I wanted out. They held pitchforks high with fire in their eyes. They howled in the empty, dark, smoky sky. They screamed while their torches rose high. My flames burnt everything, including my cries. Damn my abnormally large, enormous feet. I can never be normal, discreet. I can never indulge in something sweet. Oh, fire bad! The raging, painful heat. My regrets spew from blackened lungs. I'm decaying inside the sun. The embers feasting away my eyes and tongue. My body is slowly becoming one with the crumbs. The painful flames were biting at my crying flesh. Hope my blackened corpse gives you bright relief. The nameless monster responsible for your inner tormented mess. I love my short life, even if it was chaotic, misunderstood, and brief. Thank you. All right. This is called Grieving Gun. Bull of a name, a foggy mind. Common sense tossed in flames, innocent corpses left behind. A pool of crimson, a flood of emotions, a frigid hungry gun, names tossed in the ocean. A crying monster, a trail of blood, remorse from a butcher, stings from a billion suns. Empty flaming hearts, a river of tears, guilt shooting darts. The sounds are here. A collage of faces, time stands still, dark empty spaces, the inhumane chills. Screams of justice, sounds of deaf ears. Ignorance is bliss, sadness draws near. Mirrors in twilight, words left unsaid. Darkness in hindsight, regrets left dead. Tears in the streets, level with angels, bodies covered in concrete, feet full of anvils. Lives taken away, coffins become full, days of decay, one bloodthirsty fool. Funerals on display, ceremonies in black, mean emotional heart attacks, crying hearts crack. Clouds of gray, downpour of rain, echoes of disarray, colors of pain. flowers on altars, many grieving families, legends of slaughter, many deep sympathies. Thank you. And thank you, thank you, thank you. Woo! Love this crowd. All right, my last piece is called Let Me Sleep. Oh, please let me sleep. I'm a fish lost at sea, flying in a clear pond, feel calm and free, swimming in the great beyond. Now I hear loud, noisy bees. Oh no, things gone wrong. I'm awake. Let me rest my head. Oh, my whole body aches. I wish I can still play dead. Construction. Oh, for goodness sake. My eyelids feel heavy as lead. Let me be the fish in the lake. Too much noise. I completely dread. Going back to sleep isn't easy as cake. What time is it? Do I want to look ahead? Wow. Awake at 5 a.m. on a Saturday. Why couldn't I be born a bear? I could just hibernate and get away. Snooze away my worries or cares. Rest in a cave from the sun's rays. Do you guys have anything better to do? I just want to snooze and dream. I'll grab some coffee. No, my brew! Spill coffee with a ton of cream. Doesn't anyone care what I'm going through? Are you guys digging for gold or oil? It's early, dark, bad morning. My mood is going to spoil. Oh, the birds are quickly singing. One jackhammer in some soil. My ears won't stop ringing. Oh, the noise has stopped. I can finally go to sleep. My stress went pop. Oh, sleep. What's that beep? Oh, my bags have teardrops. Please, life, no more peeps. Thank you.
Yo, awesome, man. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining us as always. Do you have anything coming up? Do you want to promote, or how can people follow and support you online?
Well, you can follow me, support me online, so you can come to this open mic that makes everyone feel unwind. Come to this wonderful open mic that makes our Monday night such a wonderful, potastic, or sing along delight. Woo! In the freaking moonlight or sunlight. But if you want to follow me, please feel free. My Facebook is Eddie Foreman, and my IG is Eddie Foreman 92. And remember, if the mic is right, I'll be there to simultaneously insight. If you send me a question, you take guess. The answer is yes. Hope I stay positive, safe, and blessed, and never stop speaking the wonderful words inside your chest, and never stop doing, being, and feeling your best.
Hell yeah, man. You got it down to a science. Every last syllable. Ed Potastic, everyone, go check him out. Support him online because he supports all of us, and we appreciate you, man. Yeah, Mondays, for the longest time, they've always gotten the worst rep, right? Mondays, right? Then we were talking about that Garfield thing. We're getting past that. No, we're starting off Mondays awesomely with these shows. In fact, to borrow from a Stern Emo band, we're taking back Mondays. All right, so we're going to go ahead and continue. Next up, we're going to go to LA, back to LA. We're doing a lot of jumping around and check in with Deso Somok, who has always got a little something for us. Tez, how you doing today, sir? Good to see you. How you doing, my friend?
How's it going, Richie? Can I
chill.
share screen?
Yes, we got you. All right, you should be good to go.
All right, am I good to go? You guys can see. All right, so this piece is something I'm submitting for the international 60-second play out of New York. So I have to reduce it, but this is I guess my first pass at it. It's titled "The Slippery Semiotic Subject." Dispatch 10-4. Roger, understood. All units, we have a 1096 mental subject requesting an APB for subject, vague, shifting, endowed with ambiguous signifier stemming primarily from the academic division of labor. The suspect is wanted for questioning in connection with a series of 415s, disturbances. If you see the subject, please do not approach, calling immediately. The suspect's aliases are the grammatical subject, the legal subject, the literary protagonist, or the subject of history. Be wary of the abstract, transcendental subject with genealogy to Cartesian, Kantian, or Hegelian idealism. Suspect aliases as Descartes' ego cogitans. Suspect aliases as Kant's I think and Hegel's spirit. Dispatch 10-4, all units. Suspect is well known for mystifying and illuminating the mind of the proletariat. Suspect operates by establishing through constant collectives, abstract or mythical subjects with nation, state, and class, spirit, and history. Unit 1, 10-4, dispatch, I'm en route. Unit 2, 10-4, dispatch, I'm also en route. Dispatch 10-0, all units, caution. Suspect is highly interactive between the abstract known as the individual subject of philosophy. Unit 1, Code 5, surveillance. Unit 1, Code 2, urgent. Dispatch, is this the subject of theory, the semiotic interaction between the individual and the collective? Dispatch, Unit 1, 10-4. Unit 1, excuse me. No, this is the slippery social subject of linguistic context, the subject of narrative programs and discourse, the infra-individual, individual, artificial, and supra-individual actor. Unit 2, Code 5, surveillance. Dispatch, Code 2, urgent. Is this the subject of disappearance, the stereotype which diverts attention from fact, that nobody is actually able to define who or what exactly is about to disappear or has already disappeared? The subject that distinguishes notions we can do without from those that remain indispensable? Dispatch, is this the subject of anticipation, the reconciliation, or the universal subject? Dispatch, 10-4, Code 2, Unit 2, this is the intellectual subject that causes difficulties, the grammarian subject with personal pronouns I, you, he, she, and it. The elusive subjectivity of grammatology, performative anthropomorphological agent of pragmatics that enumerates unavoidable philosophical concepts. The residual after image of what doesn't appear continues to precondition meaningful speech on disappearance. The self-reference of the I, the subject as individual consciousness of cognition, the legal subject, the moral subject of sense, the communicative I as a point of shared discourse of human life. Dispatch 10-4, all units. The suspect's call signs is Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. If you see the subject, please call in immediately. Additional information. The suspect is believed to be armed and dangerous, considered to be a flight risk. If you see the suspect, do not approach. Call dispatch immediately. That's that. And then I have the second half of this.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. I gotta turn on sound for musicians. All right, can you hear that?
Yeah. Oh, I hear myself too.
Why should we be apart? If you love if you love me, if you will know the truth, I wasn't born to lose. And I love you. Affinity and communication that makes reality. Understanding is the first thing. It means so much to me. If I love you, I will find the key. If it's meant to be. Cause I love you. Affinity and communication. That's what makes reality. Understanding is the first thing. Which is it?
Looks like you stumped me, bud.
No way.
Sorry.
It's Van Morrison, If I Love You, with BB King.
Oh, BB King. Brown Buffalo Blues Band coming through.
Obviously, no BB King. Thank you all.
And before we quickly go on, I like that. Before we move on, how can people follow and support you online?
All right, folks can catch me on Instagram under Gaseous 2019. Also, pick up a copy of my book, I'm Not Your Chihuahua, on Amazon to support my work. And I think that's about it.
All right, thanks for coming through. One thing that I liked about your piece today, like I think that'd be really fun to record the audio and then apply all the effects of the all the walkie and the way it sounds. I think that'd be a fun project to do. All right, hey man, so check it out. Usually I introduce Dan as the last performer, and sometimes I'll read after him, but today I'm actually just gonna straight up read before you, Dan, so you have a little bit of time to get ready to finish your cereal or whatever it was you were eating. Oatmeal, maybe? I don't know. We'll find out. But I have a couple of cover poems and an original that you've probably all heard before. It is Poetry Month, so I wanted to highlight some poets. First up, Aldo Lamparan out of El Paso has a book, Brothers Sleep. It's a really great collection. I've praised it before, so has Robin. And we just recently had him on our podcast, Literally Literary. So this one's called Abad at the City of Change. In this city, each door I cross in search of your room grows darker than the sky. This silver dome of morning spread across the urban smog. Country dark washes the city light off the outskirts and beyond, where you sleep in hiding, where your face, wrapped in gauze, shines like sequin in the lingering moon drizzle. I reach for you. At the corners of the clubs, inside motel rooms, where rent boys rumble perspired bed sheets, doubling you, your maleness discharged, your hip bones sticking to my thighs, hard stubble of your legs scratching. The night I followed a strange road, looking to forget all this. Starlight spools the gravel ribbon leading back to the city behind me, back to the hospital room where I last saw you. Tonight, I'll rest on this road. I'll look back to the city of change where 1 year 2 skyscrapers lifted, a park shed trees for new thoroughfares, and an old cinema erupted to rebuild itself in its place. I'll stay on the pavement, suspended in time, like the broken sign announcing, "You are entering." A name changed 2 years ago, and I'll wonder if the hot breeze blowing the nape of my neck is your unchanged breath rising like candle smoke from the city. Check out Brother Sleep. A lot of really great poems in there. It's a whole mood. All right. Next up, I want to give a shout out to Jose Olivares. I've also talked about him. He is visiting El Paso in a few weeks. Really looking forward to that. This is the opening poem of his book, Promises of Gold. I mentioned before, but his release, Promises of Gold, came out in February. Came out on Valentine's Day, February 14th. And something I really like about it is it's split in half. One half of the book is in English, and the other half, if you flip it around, is in Spanish. That's the poems in Spanish. So that's really cool. Our students love that. So this one's called Tradition. Tradition. The stories say Mexicans grew out of the dirt, same as the corn stalks. Of course, we weren't Mexicans back then. Whatever we wore was lost. No, not lost. Submerged under empire. Dyed by blood and gunpowder. Believe what you want. Maybe we grew out of the dirt. Maybe agave is our sibling. Maybe mountains, our mother. The oldest tradition I know is watching my dad bet money on Mexican boxers, no matter the odds. I don't know about y'all, but I'm the child of loss and the inheritor of losing. I'm not complaining though. I know the tradition. I bet everything I have on my people and dare the universe to beat us. So that's a great poem. And since Generalissimo mentioned it earlier, this is where he got a line for a poem he shared today, Atomic Whiplash. The name of the poem is Windblown World. It's one of my memorized pieces because I always feel if you're a performer, it's always good to have 3 or 4 pieces memorized. That way, so if you're ever called upon in public to perform a poem, you can just bust out with it. And so this is one of the ones that I always like to share with students, with people. Oftentimes coworkers will have me perform for their students, so like it's always nice to just kind of perform from that. This one is called Windblown World, a Chuko love song. I am a hopeless no, hold on, I changed the line. I am a restless romantic, nomadic in his antics, frantic for the flight of words to slam in the heartstrings, except incoherent mumblings are the inept incantations drawn from the abyss of my pen's empty kiss. You are my work in progress. Isn't that all we ever are? See, I want to make music. I want that dark, smoky, aromatic tone that legends like Lester Young, Ben Webster, and Art Lewis painted their masterpieces in when there was nothing left to yearn for, to culminate and orchestrate inky sonic thumbprints soaked in the lusty allure of dark corridors and light post forever musings of stardust liquor flame passageways. 5:07 a.m. The cosmos are crunched, and stacks of what have you nonsensical rumblings ruminate on the frothy, jazz-licked rememberings of your familiar afterkiss. Perhaps this sensitive heart is penance from a past life, for even a tangential universe such as this can explode a kiss into atomic whiplash. This is your love song. So when life is bringing you down, don't forget that ever essential elemental presence and breath like I sling free-form bebop impulses into a Chuko skyline, sonic smoke signals that swirl and twirl into the air and become misguided mockingbirds, melodies in search of its music. You sing sandstorm, rebop rememories. Cuando yo te vi, mi corazón bailó. Cuando yo te vi, mi corazón bailó. See, there are 100,000 heartbeats in a day, but the ones that sound like jazz are for you. This is our metaphorical music. Thank you. Yeah, I messed up that line a little bit. Misguided mockingbird melodies in search of its music. All right, cool. Thank you guys for letting me perform. I hardly perform when I host, but that was cool. Anyway, let's go ahead and continue onward. And as we often do, just like baseball season is just starting, one of my favorites, we must call at the end of the game the closer, the right-hander, to end out the game. You guys know him by name. This is the segment where it also turns into part of his show, which you can find on YouTube, Dan the Man's weekly vlog series. But let's go ahead and welcome to the stage the one, the only, a genre unto himself, Dan the Man. Yo, Dan, what's up, man?
How are you? Okay. How's everybody doing tonight? Okay. Good? Yeah. Something in the hood, maybe. Or something like we should. Yeah, probably. And yeah, since this is April, this is That's right. This is National Poetry Month. Yep, to be or not to be. Yeah, roses are red or violets are blue. And speaking of blue, when the stars go blue, and I'm blue, ba-da-dee-da ba-da-da. Yeah, or something like Jeff Goldblum. Yeah. And speaking of blue, light it up blue, which I was talking about. Yep. Autism Awareness Day. Well, which was yesterday. Yeah. What can we say? Because it's is it autism by day? And yes, blue by night. Well, by night and day. And we say light it up blue because it's all day we light it up blue. We have to be awareness for autism. Yep, that's right. And since last Saturday was yep, April Fools. Yeah, we play a fool. Just like everybody plays a fool. And then like nothing can be cruel. Yeah, and just like you're breaking a rule. Or everybody jump to the pool. Yeah, no song, no one cannot be April Fools, but sometimes it could be cool, but not too cruel. Who play golds are fool. And yeah, everybody, yeah, we swim in the pool. Everything's cool. Yeah. Yep, I think we need fuel. Yep. Okay. All right. And we all know it's still poetry. Yep. Yeah, poetry is still key, but it is something like a century. It's a spelling bee. Yep. Something with words free, like referencey. And yep, it's all poetry to a jamboree. Yep. So the words are free, so all the rhymings are key. So yep. So we always say Happy Poetry Month. Yep, National Poetry Month. That's right. Speaking of poetry, and since we're in April, this is now once again month of April. Child's Calendar by John Updike. Here it is. Okay. April, it's spring. Farewell to chills and colds. The blushing, girlish world unfolds. Each flower, okay. Each flower, leaf, and blades of turf, small love note sends from air to earth. The sky a herd of prancing sheep, the bird and fields abandoned sleeps, and jonquils, tulips, and daffodils bloom bright upon the wild-eyed hills. All things renew, all things begin. At church they bring the lilies in. Yep. All right. Once again, A Child's Calendar by John Updike. It's a perfect night it's perfect time for Poetry Month. Yeah, for this. Okay. And I still almost towards the end, but it looks like it'll take me a month, April, to do Words of Love, Piropos, Romantic Stays from Mexico. Yep. How far this book will go. Just let it flow. Man, I think I started since last October. Well, and remember, and last February, remember that who can I ever slumber? Yep. Well, and then we're gonna wait for November. Then we're gonna wait from November, then to December. But yeah, I thought I started in September. But remember Valentine's Day. Well, what can we say? We could still there's Romantic Sands by Bay. Always day. Okay. Let me see here. Okay, I'm gonna do 3, and it's a quick one. Antes de que te casas, mira lo que haces. Before you marry, better be wary. Okay. A mayor hermosa, mayor cordura. Great beauty calls for great prudence. Okay, last and okay. Okay. All right. Okay, here's the last one. Busca por lo que valga, no has de escoger solo por la narca. Choose a woman for her worth, not just for her girth behind. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Romantics, Priopos, Words of Love, Man Saves from Mexico. Yep, still romantic, still at flow. Just go with the flow. Okay, that's it for now. So let me see if I could do what is poetry. Probably we'll do next week. So yep, happy poetry, happy National Poetry Month. And speaking of poetry, I'm still planning on writing a book. So I mean for the poetry book. Just like following the footsteps of Robin or Terry or Patty, Denise, Con, Robin. Wait, did I say Robin? Oh, I think I did.
It's
And
okay. He's written several. You can say your name a
soul.
couple times.
And Donna, God rest her soul. I wish she was here. Well, I know that the past was never near. I know it's been almost a year. The year is not near. No, the year is not near. We miss you, Donna. Wish you were here. Okay, here it is. Read it and weep it. Yeah, I'm catching up on Instagram. I think I'm a bit behind posts on Facebook and Twitter. So, but most importantly, find Dan the Man's Weekly on YouTube. Just subscribe to my channel. Don't forget, just search the title and watch it. Yeah. So I'm currently editing the special edition featuring the propaganda poet from last Thursday of the Old Sheepdog Brewery. Yeah. And the another birthday, another special edition interview featuring from last Saturday with Damian Chapa, who is Miklo from the yeah. Okay. All right. And so I got two special edition interviews coming up. So just hang tight, guys. All right, guys. You have a great rest of the week. I'll see you guys. I'll see you guys next Monday. And all right, let's go back to you, Richie. Let's call it a night.
All right, Dan. I'm gonna mute you down. Thank you, Dan. That was the Dan segment of the show. We got all the updates and everything. Appreciate you, dude. Shout out to everyone who read. We also had Sandy checking in right now on the YouTube channel. So as always, thanks for the support. Sandy, be on the lookout for more. Be on the lookout for our next show, which is on Monday. But there's a lot of content coming as well. If you haven't already, follow us, Barbed Wire Open Mic series on social media. You can follow me, Deadwall Reveries, if you have any questions. I've got an open mic tomorrow at Mona Bar, and I also have a performance Thursday, jazz and poetry at International downtown El Paso. Come check it out, support. And we have a bunch of open mics this week. There's a bunch of workshops, or this month, poetry month. Looking forward to it. So for the online open mic, my name is Rich. Once again, love to all the performers. This is the end of the live stream, but as always, we're going to keep the room open for those who want to hang out. We call that the after party. If you ever want to be part of that, then, you can find the link to join this room in the sign-up sheet. All right. Peace, guys. Have a good night. We'll see you next time on YouTube. Don't forget to like and subscribe.